my favorite phrases that I've learned in the last year is that every company is perfectly structured for the results that they are getting. Let me say it again. Every company is perfectly structured for the results that they are getting. Now, most companies, whether it be the company you work in or our company, are not satisfied with where they are. We're moving towards something new, something better. Okay? And what does that involve? That involves a scary word called change. Okay? So I want to share with you today my top 7 things to understand and navigate change. Okay, first, understand the human factors of change. This is really important, okay? It's easy to think up here about what you got going on and how you want it to be. That's called dreaming, okay? When we implement that and make it a reality, that's called change. And why are people afraid of change? Well, it's just that, the fear of the unknown, loss of control, feeling like you got to learn new skills and you're scared about that. So really, change starts with human behavior. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to start with is how are my people going to react to this change and how do I make it safe so that they feel okay about the change? Second, number 2, develop a clear and compelling vision for the change. Okay, so why are we doing this? Okay, if you're not on board with the why, you've heard us talk about that a lot. If you are not clear with the why, people are going to be even more hesitant to change. So develop a clear and compelling why, and the change gets a little bit easier. Trust. Trust and engagement is number 3. So you have to have trust, okay? Because you're trying to go somewhere that it doesn't exist right now. That's what change is. If you were there, it would exist and everybody would feel comfortable with the status quo. But you as a leader are trying to push your organization, your team, to a place where they've never been. So you have to have trust and you have to be engaged throughout that process. Okay, number 4, provide training and support. This is one that leaders often overlook, okay? Because you've been sitting there as the leader thinking about it for 6 months. You've been noodling on it on the weekends. You've been thinking about it day and night, and now you're ready to go. Well, not everybody else is, okay? So you need to support your team. You need to train them. This is a classic scenario with an ERP rollout, okay? So ERPs, Enterprise Resource Planning software. So when you roll something like that out, it takes a long time, okay? And you have to provide a lot of training and a lot of support to get there. That's a big change, okay? Number 5, monitor what is working and what's not working. This seems really simple. Again, if you are struggling with something, why is that? And change. You don't have to struggle. There's this thought that if I just power through this, that it'll be okay. But that is not the case. Sometimes you just need to ditch stuff, okay? Another one, number 6, that leaders often overlook is celebrating success. Okay, even little wins, they mean something. So make sure that you are spending enough time recognizing the hard work that people are putting in, the effort, and what's going well. It really helps grease the wheels and make things move a little smoother. And last but not least, number 7, you need to be a role model for change. Okay? It's easy to get stuck in our ways. It's easy to say, oh, that's too hard. I don't want to do it. But really, people need you to be a role model. So make sure you're demonstrating an ability to change your mind, an ability to see new thoughts and ideas. Be open, be vulnerable, be willing to fail on things. And that makes it safe for your team. So navigating change is a critical leadership skill that is only going to get more important as the pace of change continues to increase. I hope this was helpful to you. If you want to talk more about change management, reach out to me in the comments, and I'm glad to talk to you about it anytime.